What's up, everybody? It's Matt Powell with Pramek, coming to you from the Pramek gym. I know it's been a while since we've had a weekly update, so this is the weekly update, and we're going to make sure that we do them every week. I've been traveling a pretty good bit. Been up to Vancouver, been over to Ontario, been all over the place teaching Pramek. Coming up, I got a private session that we're doing out in LA. Then we've got Cleveland, Ohio coming up in December, so check that out on the Facebook website, or you can check it out at our Facebook webpage. And we've also got an exciting announcement for Holland and the UK coming up, 2012. They're going to get Pramek seminars as well. A lot of good stuff going on. We've also got our forum. It's always going. Great place to get good information. We've released the Helix. We've got that's out now, and we've got the gear that's coming up. Now, exciting stuff. We're going to be doing that in the digital download format. So goodbye DVD. It was great noting you, but we're going to be going to the digital format. That doesn't mean you won't be able to get a DVD, but it does mean that we will be going to digital format. Very limited release on the DVDs. It'll be quicker. Costs will come down. You'll be able to have it right in your hands when it releases. DLP group, stay on it for tomorrow night. We've got the beginning of the 5-week lecture series. For y'all that aren't in the DLP, that is a lecture series that I'm doing. It's for the next 5 weeks, and it's about 30, 45 minutes an hour lecture every week on a different science of combat. So tomorrow night, it's an exciting one. I've been waiting for years to talk about this because it's one of my personal favorites. I know it's going to push you DLP people to the next level. And then this weekend, finally, I'm very proud to announce that the weapons that we've been talking about, where we're coming out with our own weapons line, with a good company that we've worked with. You will see it this weekend. And you'll also see yourselves a little teaser reel. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is a pretty interesting concept for the next 5 minutes. Kind of show you some of the things that we work on. With all these movement videos, I know people are going, Matt, where's the wedge? Matt, where's the wheel and axle? Matt, when are you going to punch some people? So I want to throw a little bit out there, and we'll move the videos to the side for the movement. We've got some footage coming from Ontario. So let's go ahead, we'll step over to the heavy bag, and let me show you some of the concepts that we work on at the Pramek gym. Alright, so I went ahead and I left my women's self-defense ski mask at home. It's kind of a joke we got going on from an article that I wrote today about flash bang. I left that at home, and what I want to show y'all is the difference with a lot of people. They talk about, oh, you gotta be, don't be so tense, you know, you have to relax, you have to do all these different things. And what I want to talk to you about is the difference between tension and rigidity and relaxation. See, in Pramek, we're looking at two completely different things, but they're not mutually exclusive. And that's what I want to show you about in the next couple of minutes. Rigidity and tension is like a hammer. Relaxation is like a whip. Both of them are able to accomplish a task. Mechanically and biomechanically, they're using all the same kinematic elements. But the difference between them is the work that you actually are able to accomplish at the end of it. Because remember, that efficiency is about the force that you put in and the level of the ratio of the work that comes out of that force. And so when we look at rigidity and then we look at not being rigid and being relaxed, we're looking at the difference between a hammer and a whip. So I want to show you on the heavy bag a little bit, and these are things that you can work on at home and kind of explore the difference between the two, because I know there's a lot of schools out there that are like, never relax, always be tense, and protect yourself, create a bone shield. And then I know there's other systems out there that say, always be relaxed, you know, you don't want to be tense, you want to be breathing, and you want to be flowing. So I want to kind of talk to you about the difference between the two and when they actually work. Now, one of the things that we're going to work on, make sure if you do this, I'm going to be using the heavy bag. I'm not going to be hitting it hard, because you can tweak yourself, especially without the gloves and protective gear when you're working on it with some of the stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to be moving fast and hard at some points. Is if we look at being relaxed, like I am in a lot of the strikes that we do, then with that relaxation, we're able to accomplish a lot quicker, more effective strikes at a distance versus close in, where relaxation is actually your enemy. So if I'm out here, at this level out here, and I'm trying to keep an opponent off of me, then without having to step into clinch range and into close, I can still stay at long range, because in Pramek we talk about long range, medium range, clinch range, close range. And each one of them has different weapons that we break down in Pramek. So out here, with a relaxed strike, I can hit without a lot of rigidity and be able to strike my opponent with a cupped ear. If I put my hands out extremely wide and I'm able to use that whipping movement to strike it, and you can see how much I'm getting on it. I'm not hitting it straight across, I'm hitting it at an angle, and you can see the spin that's happening. The reason that I'm hitting it at an angle and not straight across is because if I hit this thing straight on like this, I'm going to jar my elbow. In reality, there's two different ways you want to do this. One uses relaxation without the tension, and one uses rigidity when you get inside with a cupped hand blow. So at a distance, man, I don't want any trouble, please. You know, back off, I'm sorry that I did this or whatever it is, and you get your Pramek defensive stance where you're here and you're ready. If you put your hand out to the side, then you're able to strike extremely hard and fast without having to close the distance, versus a rigid strike with a cup hand blow. So out here, I'm able to stay out there. If I'm going to step inside, relaxation becomes my enemy because it creates an inefficient lever out here where I can be forced up, I can be pushed back, I can have that arm pushed back in this direction. So I have to keep it rigid when I hit and step into it. So the power that I gain out here is coming from my hips. So you can watch here as it moves, and I'm there. So as I have my hands out here, I don't want any trouble using the mechanical leverage that I have with this longer lever, and then using the recruitment. We call it a transmissibility cycle. It transmits energy through each point in a kinematic chain. So out here, I'm able to do that. I'm able to stretch my arm and hit it. Inside, if I step, then I'm using a very rigid strike inside. Now, relaxation, once I'm inside, is non-existent. The reason it's non-existent once I'm inside is because I have to remain rigid and mechanical in order to create mechanical leverage over my opponent. Being relaxed is going to get my center line off balance. It's going to get my center mass moving. So I have to become rigid inside and control my center mass and control my feet where I'm going to move. If you get the helix, you'll see me as I move different ways. I'm constantly making sure that I'm moving mechanically so that if this leg is moving, this arm is moving back. If this one's moving, this is moving, so that I'm constantly generating force. So inside, once I'm here, at this point, I can, and this will be in our strikes video, at this point, I can keep my secondary hand. It's not a weak hand, it's not a strong hand. It's a secondary hand. This is my secondary weapon. This is my primary weapon. This might hold my knife. This might hold my pistol. It might hold my spike. It might hold what it is. This is my secondary weapon. It controls out here for what I need to accomplish. So as I put my secondary hand out here, I can block and keep that out. Now, if I'm forced in, I'm going to use this hand here to reinforce my strikes. I'm going to be pulling it instead of going I'm putting it out here into the face. Once I'm in that contact, I've used this to push it out. Now I'm going to grab this and pull that strike into him. Then I'm going to pull this down as this elbow rotates around it to give myself the added force to create efficient work. Once I've done that, this hand is here. I'm going to strike into the groin, into the solar plexus, into the abdomen. So, once I'm inside and I've got my stance there, here, Then I'm going to fold there and strike out. And chain those movements together. I'm not out of breath going, where's my women's self-defense ski mask? I'm not doing that. I'm very relaxed right now because I'm timing my breathing, my intercostal breathing and my abdominal breathing to the strikes that I am using. If it's just up here, it's intercostal breathing. If I'm having to use everything, then I'm channeling all of that compression out and then using it and pulling it along. So, those are some things to work on when you're at home. That's a pretty good little lesson right there. Jesus, most people probably put out a video like that and like cost $10. I'm probably screwing myself not doing that. But anyway, Powell@Pramek.com. Check us out. Check out the Helix. Check out check out the Wedge, Equilibrium. If you're near Cleveland, Ohio, go ahead and jump on. It's going to be a great seminar. You can check it out on our website. You can check it on Facebook. UK, Holland, I'm coming for you. It's going to be great. Anyway, see you soon. Thanks, Powell@Pramek.com.